Very good morning, guys. Yeah, last day we just been completed the discussion talking about the use state, and second thing is the page life cycle. The page life cycle basically contains seven stages in it. What are the stages? First one, start. Second, initialize. Third, load. Validations. Event handling. Rendering. Unload. Okay, start, initialize, load, validation, event handling, rendering, and unload. Okay, these are the seven stages what happens to you in every. But remember, guys, before phase life cycle starts, compilation happens. I said you that process also. And between compilation and life cycle, between compilation after see the sequence. First compilation, afterwards life cycle. Afterwards, life cycle. Life cycle will render you the output. After completing the life cycle, output will be rendered. Now, the next thing what I said, you can send this output directly to the browser, or you can even cache it also. That also I taught you. You can even cache it so that no need of life cycle multiple times. You can set some time period. We'll talk about this caching in our database programming. In the database, I'll show you how to do the caching and all the appropriate things. Okay, going forward, we'll discuss about these particular things also in detail over there. Well, today we are going to start up a discussion talking about exception handling in web application. How do we handle exceptions in web application? And all of you already learned exception handling. I don't require to teach you what is an exception and exception handling to you. Okay, I'm not talking about that. You already know about exceptions and exception handling, and we'll see how to handle them in web applications. Okay, I want to create a page like this, guys. I want to create a page like this. Come on, let's do it. I'm getting a page called exception handling, and I want to design a page like this. So let me add the table. There is nothing new to explain to you here. Just want to divide the two numbers and display the result. It's a very old story, nothing new here. What do you write? If not is postback txt num1 dot focus. And coming to reset, txt num1 dot text is equals to num2 dot text is equals to txt result dot text is equals to. I'm testing, clearing all the things. Next, txt num1 dot focus. And then I wanted to divide the two numbers. Okay. Int num1 is equals to int dot parse txt num1 dot text. Next, int num2 is equals to num2 dot text. Now int result is equals to num1 divide by num2. Okay, finally what you'll do? Txt result dot text is equals to result dot toast. Nothing special. We know this. We already developed a calculator, addition, subtraction, all these things we learned already. So now let me run the page. Entering a value 100 here, entering a value 5 here. No issues. When I click on the divide, I get my result. I get my result. Excuse me. Okay. So you can see I'm entering the first number, second number, got the result. Now, in this, if you understand, I'm entering 100 here and 0. And there is a chance of getting an error. What is that? Divide by 0 exception. We already know if you got a divide by 0 exception. If I enter y here, if I enter y here, I'll get an error. What is that? Format exception. We'll be getting a format exception. Suppose I'm entering a value, something like this. Overflow exception. We already learned all these things here. There's nothing here newly I'm telling you. All these concepts we learned it earlier basically. Okay. And you remember, whenever you get an exception, there will be an abnormal termination. There will be an abnormal termination. I shown you already in the console applications about it. But in web applications, what happens is, here abnormal termination means application stops execution. But here application won't stop the execution, guys. Here the application is not going to stop the execution. Whenever there is a error, a runtime error, application won't stop, but you will see a yellow screen. Displaying the error message to the user. I repeat, guys, you will be seeing a yellow screen displaying the error message to the user. For example, I'm giving 100 and 0 and click on the divide. Already, watch it carefully, guys. When you click on the divide, first it will take you to the place where the error is coming on that line. First, it is going to take you to the place where the error is coming. The error is coming on this particular line. Okay, basically it will show you here. But user will not see like this. End user will not see like this. Why is that? Why end user doesn't have studio and all the code? How will the end user see? After it stops here, click on F5 again. Click on F5. End user will see like this. End user will see it like this. So this is basically what we call as yellow screen. This is what we call as a yellow screen. It is going to show you the yellow screen with the appropriate error. Error came on line number 21. And in this process, it is going to show you 2 lines of code above it and 2 lines of code below it. Everything on the screen. 2 lines of code above, 2 lines of code below will be published on the screen now. The error message will be published on the screen. 2 lines above, 2 lines below of error message will be published on the screen. Did you understand me or not? So like this, it is going to show you that appropriate information on screen. It is going to show you the appropriate information on the screen. Okay, if you don't want to see like a stop in here, in C# also said you use Control F5. Don't debug without debugging. Try to run without debugging. So if you fill the data and click directly to show the message, it won't again go and stop in the studio and again run it. Directly what use? Start without debugging. Control F5. Use Control F5, you can see the output. What the problem is? This yellow screen, basically what is it showing you? It is also called as yellow screen of death. Yellow screen of death. Why, sir? Why you're calling death? Why you're using the word death here? Yellow screen of death. Why? Because it is dangerous, man. Why is it dangerous? You want an error on this line and it's exposing you 2 lines of code above and 2 lines of code below. Suppose here you have written some database coding and here you have written your database user IDs and passwords. They're all exposed to users now. Did you understand the danger? Suppose there is some database code now, and this database code which is going to show you this yellow screen will show the user IDs and passwords to users. Someone can easily hack it. Understood or not? That is why we call this as a yellow screen of death. Understood me or not? What we call it? Yellow screen of death. So this is a wrong way of displaying the outputs on the screen. But that's a default behavior. That is the default behavior. No, sir, I don't want it. What do you want? Generally, in the real-time environment, when you get errors, you don't see this yellow screen, guys. Without seeing the yellow screen, will generally show an error page. Will generally show one new page here. We'll design a page and we'll launch the page there. we'll design a page and we will launch the page there. And that particular page will come and show some message like an error page and tells you there is some error in the application or error in the application. Please recheck the input what you are given. Please recheck the input what you are given. Yeah, the problem is purely user problem only. User given the wrong values now. Are you clear? And if all you want to show the error message to the screen, you can show that error message also to the screen. What is the error message? You attempted to divide by 0. That's a user error, not any problem with the developer. Are you getting me? So what is the process? Don't show this message to user. Don't show this, yellow screen to the user. Don't show the yellow screen to the user. In place of the yellow screen, design a page and let the page pop out. Are you clearer or not? Okay, so how to control that? First, see, in the project, I am adding here one new web page. We'll name it as errorpage.aspx. I'm naming it as errorpage.aspx. Clearer or not? I'm getting a new page and I'm naming this page as errorpage.aspx. This is what I'm just designing now. So what exactly is my requirement? Whenever there is an error, I want this page to be launched. I want this page to be launched. Okay, we'll design it. We'll design this. But if you want this page to be launched, I need to handle the error here now. And you guys already know how to handle an exception. How to handle an exception? Using a try catch. Using a try catch. Come on, let's put the code in the try catch now. Start a try here. Next, catch exception EX. Are you clearer? Now what you do, here you got the exception. Exception is handled now. Once after and exception is handled, I don't want to show the screen anymore now. I want to display another page. Response dot redirect. Where to redirect? Error page.aspx. Guys, listen, I'm redirecting to error page. But when I'm redirecting to error page, I want to do one thing. What is it, This error message should be published, should be sent there now. Are you watch some error here? How do you know that there now? On the second page, we require to know the error information there. Are you clear? Where is the error information? Message property. We know that now. Message property is there, which contains the error information. See what I'm doing? I am concatenating that error message here. How, sir? As a query string. Remember query strings? Question mark, key value combinations can be passed on now. See what I'm doing? I'm putting a question mark and I'm using a error message is equals to, means error message is equals to the error message now. What is error message? EX dot. You already know about the message property. Now see, what is key name? Value is ex.message. Okay, I will show you what to do in the error page. Observe it first. Not running. Just a second. Click on divide. Observe it all of where it is going and see that you can see the query string in this now. You can see the query string. Now tell me, can I read this query string on the error page? How to read it? Request dot query string. Request dot query string and pass the key name. What is the key name? Error message. So let me take you to the error page, all of you. And the error page, I can read that message now. How to read? String message is equals to request dot query string of Otherwise, let us give a simple name. Simple, I'll say only message is equals to. And I will read here also message. Are you clear? Are you reading the message or not? Now this has to be published. Okay, we'll publish. I'm designing the error page, guys. I'm designing the error page. How I'm expecting the error page is, I want the error page to be coming for me like this. First, H1 element with some style code, error page. Next, I'm using a font tag, guys. Watch it. Font tag size is for our message. And the details of the error are, and to display that I'm showing a label now. I will label, this label will show you the message. Are you getting me? Now go to your code here, and what you'll say, LBL message dot text is equals to message. Assign the message there now. Are you clearer or not? Initially, let me comment this, guys. Let me comment these two lines. Run. Let the error propagate. Divide. See, the new page came. There is an error in the application detail of the error or not showing here. Actually, to show that I have a label. There is a label there. But the label is not assigned with any value. That's why I'm not getting it. So, to assign the value, what I done? I went to the CS. I read the value and I'm assigning to the label. Now, you will see the error message now. You can observe 100, 0. Clear? Format exception, na? Input string was not in a correct format. You learned it already. All these things you learned in our C# classes earlier. But there we done in a console application, and today we are doing in a web application. In console application, what we see, abnormal termination happened and we cannot continue. But in web application, abnormal termination won't happen. What it shows is the yellow screen. What it shows is a yellow screen. And I said, yellow screen, showing that yellow screen is dangerous. Showing yellow screen is dangerous. Okay, that's why we call the yellow screen as yellow screen of death. And you want to avoid it, what you're required to do? Design a separate page and launch it. So whenever the error comes, yellow screen won't come now. This page will come and show you, the given value is either too large or too small for a int 32. Is it clear, all of you? Yes or not? This is how we handle exceptions in the web application. Okay, listen, we're not done. When you're handling exceptions in web application, when we are handling exceptions in web application, just a minute. We will run our old page here. What is it? Calculator page we created once, remember? Calculator 1.px. That is a calculator page we created now. Now tell me, I'll get this error now, format exception, and I'll get this error when I click on add also. Subtract, multiply, divide, mod, everything will give an error. When I click add, when I click subtract, when I click multiply, when I click divide, when I click mod. Okay, but imagine, on the day, luckily, we have written the code for all these 5 under one single event handler. But imagine you write 5 event handlers, you're required to write 5 try-catch blocks now. Yes or not? Luckily on that day, we have written all this code in one single event handler. We have seen how to use object. We have learned how to use, the sender parameter, how to use the event args E parameter, and written this code in one single event handler. But what I'm telling is, imagine you have written this code under 5 separate event handlers. If there are 5 separate event handlers, we're required to use a try-catch block for 5 times now. I'm talking to you only, lazy fascist. How many times is your same every day? Understood? So the problem is, multiple times you need to write the code now. Yes or not? To resolve this particular problem, basically, when you're handling exceptions in web applications, Microsoft is, sorry, ASP.NET is given us three different options to us. What are three options? One, block level error handling. Block level error handling. That is what we have done right now. Block level error handling. That's what we have done right now. But what is the drawback in this? You have multiple blocks now. You require to write this code multiple times now. Add button, subtract button, multiply button, divide button. You require to write four separate thing now. Second option, page level error handling. What is that? Page level error handling. What is page level error? Page level error handling in the sense, we don't require to write multiple blocks of code now. We don't require to write multiple blocks of code. Then, sir, only one. Only one. And if you write that one single block of code, error occurs anywhere in the page. Error can occur anywhere in the page, will be handled by that automatically. Are you getting me or not? Error occurred anywhere in the page will be handled by that automatically. That is called as page level error handling. Understood me? Shall we try that? How to do that? Then don't use a try catch now. Don't use a try catch, guys. Are you getting me or not? Let's not use a try catch here. I'm not using a try catch block here. Okay. Then how to do? We have page load now. What I explained is a page event. It is a page event. And yesterday I showed you, we don't require to do any binding for this because of a property called auto event wire up with the default value true. When the auto event wire property is set with the default value true, the page events are not required to be linked anywhere now. Okay, same like this here. Copy this. Copy this. There is another method called as page underscore error. What is that? Page underscore error. And the page underscore error method will execute whenever there's an error in the page now. Whenever there's error in the page, where, sir, anywhere in the page, anywhere in the page, if an error occurs, the control directly jumps here now. Are you clearer or not? Anywhere the error occurred, the control directly jumps here. Guys, watch it. I did not write any code, but I added a breakpoint there. I added a breakpoint. Okay. Now run your page. I'm going to get an error. I'm going to get an error. Okay, without an error, let us see. No error. You got the output. The page error method did not run, see? But now I'll give you 0 here. I'm trying to fill the values. Now let me click on the divide. You came here, right? Carefully observe it. The control went to page error. The control went to page error. See, you are at the page error now. You are at the page error. Anywhere in this page error occurs, it will jump to page error. So you can write the code in this particular method now. So wherever the error occurred, this will handle. No need of writing multiple try catch blocks now. No need of writing multiple try catch blocks. That's the beauty of the page error. What we call it, page level error handling. First option, block level error handling. Second option, page level error handling. You can do block level also. We can do page level also. So here I can write my error handling code. What is it? Listen. Exception X is equals to server dot get last error. What is this, sir? We have some intrinsic objects now. In that server is also an intrinsic object. Map path we call NAS. What on map path? In this, there is a method. What is the method? What will it get you? Pre-mouse and read. Whatever exception occurred previously, means before the control came here, what exception occurred, to provide that information to you now. And the return type is, I captured an exception only. Okay. Once you capture it, then what I'm doing, see, response dot redirect, which page? Error page dot aspx question mark. message is equals to ex dot message. Message is equals to ex dot message. You're transferring the control. But still, guys, you're transferring the control, but still that exception details will be present internally. Basically, have that exception message or exception details internally. Once we go to the error page, we need to clear that exception basically. We need to clear the exception. So what to do, server dot clear error. So before you transfer, clear the error. What it will do? It will clear that information basically. It will clear the appropriate information. And now control is, see, I captured this in the EX now. Now I don't require this anymore. Clear it now. Already captured in the EX here. Okay, so clear the appropriate thing. If you don't clear, sometimes what will happen is this error will be internally present and suddenly this error will be propagated. That's a problem what we'll be facing. So to avoid this problem, once you gather the exception details, make the habit of clearing the errors, and then redirect to the appropriate page you want. Okay, so guys, watch. So I don't require to write multiple try-catch blocks now. One will take care of all. See now. Got it or not? Okay, any error, whatever it is the error. Large or too small. Do you understand the second option? What is that? Page level. So which one looks better now? Block level or page level? Page level, because tomorrow I have 10 or 20 event handlers in my code now. And these 10 or 20 event handlers, I cannot write one try catch like this. It will be a lengthy process. So to simplify that, what they given us is page level. Okay, now I have 100 pages in my site. I have 100 pages in my site. Now in every page, if I add this method, it will take care of the exception handling now. Right or not? So what we should do, in every page in our words, we're required to go for using a page underscore error method. See now, this method also, we did not bind it anywhere. Yes or not? This is what we learned in the last class. What is it? A page events doesn't require binding because of auto event wire up. Because of the auto event wire up, page events doesn't require binding. I did not do any binding now. I defined it, that's all. Are you clear or not? Now, what I'm telling you, I have 100 pages, man. In every page, if I can add a page error, I don't require to bother about error handling again and again now. Okay, now? This can be still simplified. How, sir? Application underscore error. Application level error handling. What is that? Application level error handling. What is application level error handling? Application level error handling means you don't require to handle the error separately for each page now. Then you can handle the error for the whole application at a time. Without handling for each page, you can handle that for the whole application at a time. And that's what we call as application level error handling. So no problem. 100 pages are there. 100 times you're required to add the method now. That is also going to be a lengthy process. So you can avoid it by using a concept called application underscore error. Okay, but where should I write that, sir? Where should I write that? See, this class is specific to your page. This class is specific to your page. We have so many classes. Everything specific to a particular page. Every page has its own class. Every page has its own class. Are you clear? And don't forget, in your project, there is a class for the whole application. In the project, there is one class for the whole application. Really? Yes. For the whole application, we have one class. We already used it also. Remember, we talked about this global.sax. What is the name of the class? The name itself is telling you, man, the global class. In anything done, HTTP. This class is not for a page now, it is for the whole application. This class is for the whole application. Whatever classes we are defining every day are specific to the page, but this is not specific to a page. This is for the whole application. It's a single class for the whole application, and that's what we call as a global. Understood? Basically, in this class, there is by default a method. What is the method? I already explained about this method to you. I already explained about this particular method to you. When, sir? When we started with validation controls, we talked about it. Yes or not? So basically, in this class, we can have some methods here. We can have some methods. What are the methods? Like application start. This method executes. This method executes one and only one time in the life cycle of an application. One and only one time in the life cycle of an application. That is, when the application receives its first request. Understood? Huh? When will an application receive the first request? My site is developed. I hosted the site on a public server now. And now it is open for all. Now it is open for all. Now I announced about my site to the public. I announced about my site to the public. And when I announced about the site to the public, someone from some country, I don't know who, someone from some country at some time zone was trying to open my site. Are you clear? Again, the first person is the first person. Someone from some country is trying to open the site. He opened the browser and he typed the URL of the site now. And immediately the request went to my site now. And that is called as a first request. That is called as a first request. And this happens one and only once in the life cycle of an application. So remember, if you start an application today, you won't stop it, man. Web applications will never stop. Web applications will be running 24/7 into 365 now. Got my point? Web applications will be running 24/7 into 365. Continuously web applications will be running. They never stop at all. They'll be continuously running like that in the background. So when the request comes now for the first request, then this means suppose I stop my web application for 1 year continuously. 1 year I did not stop it. After 1 year, for some reason, or to make some changes, I stopped my site. I stopped my site. Means you understood the first day of this year is and from then onwards it won't execute. How many times it will execute? Only one time in the life cycle of an application. Second method. Yes. This method also executes one and only one time in the life cycle of an application. That is, before the application is shut down. You use the IRCTC website. IRCTC website, yeah. IRCTC website starts every day. You notice it 11:30 to 12:30 in the midnight, the site will stop. IRCTC site starts every day. Means suppose today, every morning 12:30 a.m., 12:30 a.m. site started. Application start event will fire now. And when will the site stop? 11:30 p.m. in the night. 11:30 p.m. in the night, the site is shut down. For 1 hour maintenance, they'll shut down the site now. 11:30 p.m. now, application end will execute. Clear? 12:30 a.m. application start. 11:30 p.m. application end. So once, means tomorrow again 11:30 a.m. one more time the application starts and application start event will fire. And 11:30 p.m. application ends and application end event will fire. Right. Yeah, you can understand this page error executes when there is an error in the page. Correct? When will this execute? When there is an error in the application, see, this method executes whenever there is an error in the application and not handled by page or block level. Read carefully. Guys, there is no block level error handling. Listen. There is no block level error handling. Then it goes to page level. There is no page level error handling. Then it goes to this first preference to what? Block level. First preference is block level. Second preference, page level. Third preference, application. First you check, is there any block level error handling? Present, stop there. No, not present. Then goes to page level. It checks if there is a page level error handling. Not there. Not there. Or present, stop there. Not there. Application level error handling. Application error handling, present, stops there. Not present. Yellow screen. Or yellow screen here, this how it checks basically. First it checks is any block level. No. Then it checks if there is any page level. No. Then it checks if there is any application, nothing present. Then comes the yellow screen. Did you understand the sequence or not? First it checks for, open the mouth, all of you, get out of the classroom. First it checks for block level, not present. Then goes to page level, present, fine, not present. Then it goes to application. See the sequence how it jumps now. If all the three are missing, then only we go to yellow screen. Otherwise, yellow screen is not displayed until then now. It checks in every level now. Got it or not? Now, are you clear about the three methods? We have two methods, man. We will talk about them. One is session start and second one is sessioning. When will session start execute? Session start executes whenever a new user connects to the server. Whenever a new user connects to the server. Let us take the IRCTC website only as an example. Someone opened the IRCTC site now and logged into it and trying to book a ticket now. Another person tried to open the site and logged in booking the ticket. And now, within this 1 hour, 10,000 people throughout the country has opened to book the tickets now. Every new user connected, session start will run. Are you clear? Now your ticket booking is completed. You click on a log out and log out of the application now. Session. Session start means user session start. Session end means user session end. Application start means not user session. Application starts. Application end. Here, user session start, user session end. Understood? We will see how to use these methods. We will see how to use these methods in our next classes. I'll tell you, but these are the 5 methods what you will have in the class now. Application start, application end, application error, session start, session end. And it is not mandatory that you are required to define all these methods. Whatever you want, you can define those particular methods. So by default, right now we have only one method here. What is it? Application end is not there. If I require, I'll add it, that's all. Application error is not there. If I require, I'll add it, that's all. Did you catch my point or not? See, I am writing a method. Application end. No logic in this. Same way, I am writing a method. Application error. Did you understand me? Okay, guys. Now go to your previous page. Here we handled error page level. Or if this is there, it will come to application level then. If you want to test it, you require to comment this first. You require to delete or comment, then only we come to application. So what I'm doing, let me cut these 3 lines here. Let me cut the 3 lines of code here. And I will comment of this one. I delete if you don't want, just come to global.asx and paste the code here. Array, that code I brought here, that's all. Okay, let me run. Hundred, 0. Went to error page or not? But see the error message. We did not get the correct error message like attempt to divide by 0. Array, that's what we're expecting. Something came. Let's see for all. Now also same. I'm not getting the exact error message here. I'm not getting the exact error message, but page level I got, but application level I did not get it. Okay, so let me first tell you why I'm not getting this, why I'm not getting the exact error message and how to control this. Actually, an error occurred here, right? Sorry, an error occurred here. When error occurred here, whether there is any block level error handling, no, not present. Then it checks for handling, not present, not present. Okay, now small thing happens here. What is it now? Now, because there is no local exception handling available, either block or page level, nothing is available. Another exception will occur. What is that other exception? Read the message, read the meaning of that. What is that? Unhandled exception. See now, it was expecting to be handled in the page now. It was expecting to be handled in the page now, either block level or the page level, but no one is there handling it now. So new exception came now. What is new exception? So what is the problem now? The last error is not divide by 0. The last error is HTTP unhandled exception. And there we call it get last error. What do you call get last error? Get last error. Return you 0. What is the thing here? What's the picture? The previous, what is the previous? The last one is HTTP unhandled exception. That is why we are getting this message. Did you understand it? I'm telling you one more. Listen. You got an error. You got an error. Now it is block level error handling, not present. Expecting a page level error handling, not present. When nothing is present, no one is handling my exception here. When no one is handling an exception, a new exception will raise now. What is the new exception? HTTP unhandled exception. HTTP unhandled exception. When no one handled the exception now. That is called HTTP unhandled exception. This is the new exception that raised. Okay. Now control jump to application error. Now tell me what is the last exception. The last exception is divide by 0 or HTTP unhandled. HTTP unhandled, not divided by 0. And there we return the code get last error. The get last error will get you the last error. The last error is HTTP unhandled exception. That is why you are seeing it like this. Sir, I don't want to see this. I want to see the actual exception only. I want to see the actual exception. What I'm expecting, divide by 0. That is what I'm expecting. Tomorrow someone don't understand this. Divide by 0 is understandable. But this is not understandable now. Okay. So this is what we have. So what you're required to do now is, listen guys. Listen all of you. See. EX refers to what? A last exception. Last error. EX refers to the last error. Are you clear? Okay. And the last error was caused by divide by 0. Array, divide by 0 was not handled. That's why unhandled came. Understood? Okay. Actually, we have a property called as inner exception. What is that? Means here we have two exceptions here. One in the outer, one in the inner now. What is the inner exception? Inner exception is divide by 0. Outer exception is HTTP unhandled. Blank faces. 2 times I explained you. Still the same faces. Are you understanding? First, put your concentration here. What is the first exception? Louder. Divide by 0. Handled or not handled? So what is the next exception? So now tell me, what is the inside one? Inner exception is divided by 0. Outer one? unhandled exception. Outer one is HTTP unhandled. Inner one is divided by 0. See, EX refers to outer. EX refers to the outer. What is that? Unhandled. Now I don't want the outer, I want the inner one. How to get? Inner exception. This will provide you the information of the inner exception. This will provide you the information of the inner exception. So that's why without writing ex.message, write ex.inner exception.message. Did you get me? Ex refers to HTTP unhandled exception. Inner exception refers to divide by 0 exception dot message. You are getting the message of the divide by 0 now. Understood all of you? Let me add a breakpoint here. Oh. See guys, exception occurred here, right? From here, the control came here now. And now it is catching the last error. And all of you can watch. Okay, expand this. All of you, carefully expand this. Are you clearer or not? You got the inner exception now. You got the inner exception. The message of the outer exception is exception. Read all man. Exception of type system.web unhandled exception was thrown. That is the message. But I'm not expecting this message. I'm expecting the message of this one. Inner exception. Expand it. And here it will tell you what exactly is the message of it. Are you clearer? Okay. So that is what I'm going to propagate on screen. See now, you got the correct message again. You got the correct message back again. Is that clear, all of you? Okay, like this, you can just get it. But tomorrow, imagine it. Suppose there is an exception in this class only. Exception in this class only. In this class only, some exception occurred. Then I don't have inner exception then. Yes or not? Suppose there is a exception in this class only. In this class only, there is an exception now. So what will happen? Push it. Is it locked? Okay, suppose you got an exception in this class. Then there is no inner exception now. Are you following me or not? In such scenarios, ex.inner exception will cause you null reference exception now. Array, no inner exception. When there is no inner exception, it will be null. When there is no inner exception, it will be null. Just a minute. Let me bring these 3 lines to page level. Let me bring to page level. Now guys, tell me, do I have inner exception now? I'm handling block level now. Sorry, page level. Do I have inner exception? I don't have inner exception now. Correct now? So all of you can watch it. Not that one. Look at the inner exception. Are you clear? Yes or not? What is the inner exception? Null. So if there is no inner exception, this will be null. So what is the problem? The problem is I stopped off the code. If I don't stop it, ex.inner exception.message will give you error now. Watch, run and see. Let's add the breakpoint. I removed off, unfortunately. Okay. 100 and 0 divide. And see now the control came here. Inner exception is null or not? Array, when it is null, how are you calling ex.inner message.exception? Exception causing another exception now. Clear? So that's why before going to access the inner exception, once do a condition check. What condition check? Is the inner exception present or not present? If inner exception is present, go to inner exception. If inner exception is not present, stop at the outer exception only. Don't go to inner exception. Understood me? I'll show you clearly. Wait. I've written the code here. Tomorrow, if there is any inner exception, I'll get it. But in case I don't have an inner exception now, then the TX on inner exception will cause you error. So do an extra condition check here. What if EX dot inner exception not equal to null? If it is not equal to null, then execute this code. No, sir, it is null. If it is null, then execute this code. Are you guys clear or not? So before using it, check it is available. If available, go there. If not available, stop at the outer exception only. Don't go to the inner exception. So that is how you're required to handle the exception application level. So three options that I shown you. First option, block level. How do we do that? Using try catch. Second one, page level. How do we do that? By defining a method called page underscore error. Third one, application level. How do we do that? By defining a method called application underscore error in global class. In global class, present under global.asx.cs. Global.asx.cs. Under that, we'll have a class called. What is the class name? And what is the parent class? And don't forget, this class represents the whole application, but not the page. This class represents the page. This is representing the page, and this is representing the application, the complete application it represents. I hope everyone is clear. Understood or not? So that is how you are going to handle the exception. Block level, page level, application level. All three options are available for you to handle the exception. Block level, page level, as well as application level. Are you guys clear or not? Understood all of you? Okay, fine. So basically, yeah, this is what we are talking. Exception handling in application. Exception handling in the application. So I created a form, I've written this code and all. Now read this paragraph. Now run the web page without debugging. That is Control plus F5 and check the output. And here we have chance of getting three types of exceptions like formal exception, divide by 0, overflow exception. When we enter wrong values in the text boxes. And whenever you get the exception, it will abnormally terminate the program and shows an yellow screen displaying the details of the exception. The yellow screen, which is shown as a problem, that is, it will display the source code of the line where we got the error. Along with that, it also displays 2 lines of code before and 2 lines of code after the error line. And the problem here is, if these lines contain any complex logics, end user can view the logic, and to avoid displaying the yellow screen to user, we are provided with the 3 error handling options in ASP.NET. Those are block level error handling, page level error handling, application level error handling. Okay, so first block level, and we do that by using try catch blocks. And you guys know how to use a try catch block. I'm not giving any explanation for this. And I've shown you first the block level. What did I do? I modified the code in the button now. What did I do? This is the code we written earlier, guys. Now this code is brought into try catch. Okay. Now what we done? We had an error page and we designed the error page to display the message now. Clear? After doing all the above, run exception handling.aspx page again. And now whenever an exception occurs, the page without displaying the low screen will redirect to error page.aspx and displays the error details on that page now. Clear? What is the drawback? The drawback of block level error handling is we need to add this try catch blocks under each method where there is a chance of getting any exception, and it's a tedious and lengthy process. A lengthy job, man. We require a lot of coding now. So to overcome this problem, use page level error handling. What else? Page level error handling. Okay, now page level error. There's a process of handling errors that occur in the whole page by using an event handler method that is page underscore error. And by implementing this method under the class, any error that occurs in the page can be handled. Are you clear? When the method is implemented under our page class, whenever the error occurs in the page, control will directly transfer to this method. So we need to implement logic for handling error under this method now. Okay, to test the above process, first we delete try catch blocks we add in the logic and the divide button, click event handler and add the following handler method to the class. Write the whole code, man. Private void page underscore load objects under event taxi and write the code. Now run the web page again and watch the output, which will be same as previous. But the only difference is here, we can handle all errors of a page with a single method without writing multiple try catch blocks. Production application level error handling. In page level error handling, we need to implement a separate page underscore error method for each web page. So when we have multiple pages, the process becomes tedious and lengthy. Again, the same now, the process becomes tedious and lengthy. To avoid this problem, we are provided with application level error handling, which can be performed by implementing an event handler method known as application underscore error. We are going to define one event handler method, what we call the application underscore error. Application underscore error event handler is capable of handling exceptions that occur under any page of the site. And this method should be implemented under a special class known as global. We'll find this class under our project in a file global.ash, and this file will be present under every web application project by default. Do you remember? Starting class, we talked about this. By default, your project requires 3 files per sure. What are the 3? Web.config. I already explained you the importance of the web.config. Second one, global.ash. This is the second time we're talking on global.ash. Third one, packages.config. Packages.config. Okay, we talked about that, but that file also is present for us. Okay. So yeah, every web application project, then there will be find a class global inheriting from HTTP application of system.web namespace, and by default, the class contains an event handler method with the name application underscore start. Okay, what do you do now? What is the process of application level error handling? First, comment the page error handler method we defined earlier. Now open global.ash file. Rename the method application start present in the class as application error. You write a separate method or rename that method also. No problem. I often written up the code. No, sir, I will write a separate method. Write it, no problems. Because application underscore start doesn't have any code now. So if not present also, no issues now. Okay. And this is the code I have written. You can see inner exception, else part. In the above case, when an error occurs in the web page and was not handled over there, server will raise another exception. What is that? HTTP unhandled exception. And then control is transferred to application error event handler. So here, ex.message returns error message associated with, but not of the actual filed exception. So to get the error message of the actual filed exception, we need to use the statement ex.innerException.message. Clear or not? But be careful when you are using inner exception. If inner exception is not there, again a problem will arise. So that's why make a condition check like this. If it is not null, go inside. If it is null, stop at the out. Don't go inside again. Are you clear? So outer exception will be present. That is guaranteed. Why? And if that is present only, you come to this method here. Always you won't come to the method at all. If there is no exception, you won't come to the method now. Okay, so outer exception is guaranteed. What is not guaranteed? Inner exception is not guaranteed. So make a condition check for the inner exception. Clearer or not? Understood all of you how to handle exceptions? Okay, we'll use them, guys. When we are going to work with the database programming, we will write code in try-catch to handle the errors. Okay, just to start with the database programming, I have one more concept left out. We'll finish that and start with the database programming. What is it? State management. Already last class, I explained you a concept to you. Web applications are stateless. I explained you the complete behavior of the web application. What happens when a request comes? Page instance is created. Page lifecycle happens. Page lifecycle happens. Output is generated. Page instance is destroyed. Page instance is destroyed. And this process repeats every time we call the page now. You call a page 100 times. Yesterday is only a button click now. You click on the button for 100 times. 100 times the same process repeats. What is it? Instance creation, life cycle, destroy. Again, instance creation, life cycle, destroy. 100 times this whole process repeats. Okay. So what is the problem? The problem is if there are any values associated with a page in a request, I cannot use these values in my next request. I cannot use the values in my next request. And to overcome this, we discussed like use view state. Right, to overcome this, what I said you use view state. Using view state, we maintain the state of the values or not. So view state is a state management technique. View state is a state management technique. Did you understand my point here? So what is view state? A state management technique. But what is the drawback of view state, you know? View state values are accessible only in that page. View state values are accessible only in that page. I want to access these values in another page. I cannot use view state. So I have page 1 to page 2 here. In page 1, I have some values. I want to access them in page 2 now. I cannot use view state now. View state values are accessible only within the same page. Like see, we learned access specifiers in C# now. Private, internal. What is private? You can access them only within the wrong answer. Within the type. Why are you telling within the class? Structure also there now. Within the type. Can be a class or a structure within the type. Protected. Accessible only in child class. Here use class because child interface will never be there. Child class. Internal. Within the whole project. Protected internal. In the project. Child class out of the project. In the project anywhere. Child class out of the public. Global anywhere. Remember now. Array like this now also we have different options, man. If we use view state is accessible only within the page now. I want to access in other pages now. So for that we have given multiple options here. All of you watch it. These are the 6 state management techniques that are available in web applications. First one. Already explained about a view state. But what I did not teach you, I showed you how to store a value in the view state, access value in the view state. I did not teach you where view state is going to store the values. Okay, I'll teach you about that. Second one, just now remember here from page 1 to page 1 when you want to transfer the values to error page, we use a query string only. Why you use the query string, sir? Can't we store in a view state? If you store in a view state, that values are not accessible in the second page now. Where they will be accessible? They will be accessible in that page only. That's why to access them in the second page, I use a query string there. Third option, hidden fields. Input type hidden na. Input type hidden. What is input type hidden? Password. Very brainless fellows. You did not learn input type hidden. Input type text will create a text box. Input type hidden also will create something like a text box. But that is not visible to anyone. That is not visible to anyone. It is just like an input control only. But that is visible to anyone at all. It will be present on your screen and we can control values on it also. But if anyone wants to see that, they cannot see. You can see by going to page resource, you can see that input a hidden field and all. Okay. These are also used for transferring values from one page to another page. I'll show you how to use it. That is called as hidden field. Fourth one, 50. Fifth one, session. Sixth one, application. What is the difference, sir? Everyone has different scope. Got it or not? What is that? Everyone has a different scope. There's a different scope for each and every of this particular thing. Are you guys clear or not? Understood, all of you? So everyone is going to have a different scope to you in this particular context. That's what we'll try to understand now. What is the scope of each and everything? Suresh, what is the difference between inner exception and exception? No. Exception means the last one. Inner exception means previous one. Exception means last one. Inner exception means previous one. In our previous example, what is the first exception? Divide by 0. Second exception, HTTP unhandled. Second one, so what is the last error? HTTP unhandled. What is the inner error? Divide by 0. Outer one means last error. What is that? HTTP unhandled. Inner one is divide by 0. Inner one is the divide by 0. That is what the difference between exception and inner exception. Okay, we have different techniques available here. I'll show you all the 6 things to you and we'll tell you when to use a raw state, when to use a query string, when to use a hidden field, and also I'll clearly show where these values will be stored exactly. Where these values will be stored exactly. We'll try to understand about this. Okay. Guys, still now, what we are doing is we are writing all our code in one project called control schema. We started this when we started with the controls and used it. Okay, let me create a new project, guys. For expanding your state management, manual deployment or automatic deployment? Why you are using the word manual deployment? Tell me first. Deployment, that's all. Manual or automatic is secondary. In deployment, web application executions after deployment, web application execute starts from application start. It can be a manual deployment or automatic deployment. That's none of the business. Once deployment is completed, application execution starts from application start. That's what I said to you. Today I developed a site. I moved the site to a server. I publish my site on the server now. Once I publish my site on the server, what happened? My site is published on the server, guys. Once my site is published on the server, I made an announcement to the public. The site is ready. Someone started using it now. Anyone can send a request. The first request received by the site will call application start. Again, the application start method will not execute until you shut down the site. Okay? Fine. To understand this, I'm creating a new project, guys. Actually, I want to host this project on IIS. I want to host this project on local IIS. So to do that, let me open the studio in administrator mode. I already explained all these things to you. So right click, run as administrator. Create a new project. ASP.NET web application. Naming it as ASP state management. What's the folder? C#9. Create. Empty web forms. Uncheck all the other checkboxes. Click create. Okay. What next? Host this project on IIS. Host this project on IIS. Remember how to host it on IIS? Help me. My INET manager. Are you practicing? Every day you say, yes, sir. You don't know anything at all. You say you're practicing. Useless fellows. Open the Solution Explorer. Right click on the project. Go to Properties. Go to Web, scroll down. Here we say what? Servers. And the servers, what is the server? Change to local IS and click on create virtual directory. That is the process. And now it is hosted on IS now. If you want to check it out, go there and check it out. INET MGR. ASP state management. It's under IS now. Okay. Now, my requirement is I want to explain you about each and every of these particular things. Let us first start with. And you guys already know how to store a value in a view state and how to access a value in a view state. Correct? So what is my exact requirement is I want to create a login page. I want to create a login page. Sir, you've done this earlier already. Yeah, I done this earlier. But today I'm going to show you a new thing. What is it, when I click on the login, if it is a successful login, it has to take to success page. If a wrong login, it has to take to failure page. Understood or not? With a successful login, it has to take you to the success page, and with a failure login, it has to take me to the failure page. Excuse me, the last one sitting in the back. Come front. Go only. Come front. Come front, man. Because you're sitting last and watching your mobile, I don't know. You pay the fees and not listening to the classes. Why are you paying the fees here? Wasting your money and time. Watch it. What is my requirement now is I want to give an option for 3 times for the user to enter the credentials. Are you clear? I want to give a provision for the user for 3 times to enter the credentials. Say in your applications, you enter a wrong credentials class, it will tell you. Array, 1 attempt failed, you have 2 more tries. Second time you enter wrong value. Again, it will tell you, array, 2 attempts failed, 1 more option. Third time also you do it. Then it will lock it or something happens. Same I want. I want to give a chance for 3 attempts now. First attempt failure, the message has to show me 1 attempt failed, you have 2 more options. Second attempt failed, it has to show me 2 attempts failed, you have 1 more option. All 3 failed. No message, failure page. All 3 failed, failure page. In between, anytime successful login, success page. Understood? Now here you see, last class, just click on the button and increment the counter. That's an answer. None of simply I showed you that option. But here you have the real business now. The count should increment how many times the failure happened. Are you clear? So we need to use a view state here. We need to use a view state to maintain the count. We need to use a view state to maintain the count. Okay, let me create 3 pages totally. First page. Already you have login, success, failure, changes the names, that's all. Login with failure count, success with failure count, and failure with failure count. That's how I named it. Okay. Let me create these 3 pages in the site. Web form. Login. Second, success. Third one, failure page. Sorry, I forgot to give a name. Can't we rename it, sir? We can rename here. We can rename. The problem is, why you don't rename generally, why don't suggest renaming is, I'll show you. Hold on a second. What the problem of renaming is, in C# we use renaming. But here, I never do that renaming. I'll show you. Added of the web form one. Okay. Actually, I want to give a different name, man. Go there and I'm changing the name. What is it? Failure with failure count. Are you clear? But see the problem. The problem is in your page director. Did you understand me or not? It will leave the traces of this. You are required to pick all this and modify. If you don't modify, again problems will start. That is why I don't suggest renaming. Better delete and create the fresh file. Is that clear? Which page, man? Failure, right? Right click, add a web form. Give the name as failure with failure count. Okay, now see, because we have freshly added, we got the correct naming policy always. Okay, so just don't try to rename the web pages. If it's mandatory to rename, find out where these references are there, and you're required to just go and update all of them. Okay, well, let's do the login page like this. We have a message also. So 4 rows, man, 2 columns. You can see the design. Okay. And you know the code, nothing special to explain you. Let me write up the appropriate code. First, ext user.text is equals to ext password.text is equals to lbl message.text is equals to empty string. Array reset should reset message also. Next, ext user.focus. Set the focus into that user text box. Are you clear? Set the focus into the user text box here. Okay, fine. Now come to page load event. If not is postback, txt user dot focus, setting the focus in the user text box. Come to login button, and what do you do in the login button? I want to check whether the user ID password are correct or not. Correct now? If txt user.text is equals to, I'm taking in static value, guys, admin, and txt password.text is equals to admin. Okay, next week we'll try with the database only. We'll try all these things with the database. Now static values, but we can use database in all the places. Yeah. Now tell me the valid user, what to do? Take him to success page now. Take him to success page. Here we need to come now. Correct? Okay. So what shall I do? Response dot redirect. Are you clear? I'm taking there. Now guys, in this page, I want the username to be accessible. I want the username to be accessible. But unfortunately, I cannot store in the view state and access it to my second page, because view state, what I said you, view state values are accessible only within the page. I cannot access it across the pages. But when I jump to success page, I cannot access the view state values now. So because I cannot use the view state value, this is the reason why in the previous example also I transferred the value as a query string. Now also I should do the same thing only. How I should transfer? How to do it? Question mark. Name is equals to txt. Oh, sorry. Plus txt user dot text. Are you clear? Now the name is passed to the second page as a query string. It will go in the form of a query string now. Okay. How many query strings are there? One. Only one. Else. Else means success or failure. Failure. If you come to failure, immediately shall I take you to a failure page? I want to give 3 options to you. I want to give 3 options to you now to check whether it is a success or a failure. Are you guys clearer or not? I want to give 3 options to check it is a success or a failure. Okay, guys, watch it all of you. What I'm doing. Let me come to the page load event. In the page load event, what did you do? In the first request, you're putting the focus on this. Clear? Okay, one more thing I'm adding here. If the first request, if it is a first request, I'm writing view state of 0. Now tell me, this code executes only once now? When? When the page loaded for the first time, there is a value in the view state now. What is the value? 0. The value is 0. Now see, you entered a correct user ID password. You went off to success page. You entered a wrong credentials, comes to else part. And once you come to the else part, what am I doing first, I'm checking the value present to the view state. Already you have value in the view statement. What is the value? 0. Can I say int count is equals to int of view state of failure count is 1. Understood me? When will you come to else part, man? Whenever the wrong credentials. First time you enter the wrong credentials, 1 will come now. Yes or not? What will come? 1 will come. Okay. Now, this 1, again, what I'm doing, view state of failure count is equals to count. Carefully observe. First time you entered the wrong credentials, comes to else part, count will be 1. And now I'm storing the 1 in this. Second time you entered a wrong credential, count will be 2. I am storing this. Third time you enter the wrong credential, count will be 3. Are you clear? No need to store. No need to store. Redirect to failure page. Redirect to failure. So here, let me add the condition. If count is equals to 3, response dot redirect. Which page? Failure with failure count dot aspx. Guys, here I want to transfer 2 values here. Not 1 value, 2 values. What are those? One is name, second one is count. One is name, second one is count. This count also I want to transfer to my second page now. Okay, same question mark. Name is equals to plus txt user dot text. Okay, now again plus ampersand count is equals to plus count. Did you guys understand that? This is how it will build the string. This is how it is going to build the string. How? Dot aspx question mark name is equals to admin ampersand count is equals to read. Understood? What is the concatenation operator? Question mark. And the separator is ampersand. It's a 2 value combination. See, this is 1 key. See, 1 key, 1 value. Second key, second value. Tomorrow, third value. Same again. Ampersand, third key, third value. Fourth key, fourth value. Like this. So, the concatenation operator is a question mark. And the separator for each key and value is ampersand. Question mark and ampersand is what you require to use here. Okay. So everything goes now to the failure page now. No, sir. It is not 3. It is 1. It is 1. Then it comes to here. And now in the next line, I'm writing lbl message.text is equals to what? Count plus attempts failed and maximum is 3 only. So what is the output I'll get now? First time you failed, it will show you. 1 attempt failed and maximum is 3 only. Second time you failed it, 2 attempts failed and maximum is 3 only. Third time you failed, it won't show you. It will take you to failure page. It will take you to failure page. Are you guys clear? Okay, come on. Let us add a breakpoint here. Let us add a breakpoint. Run the page. I asked again also today. See, guys, all of you, that's what I said you. Basically, I am asking it every day to the admin when will the SQL Server batch starts, and I don't have any information. And recently, 4 o'clock started. After 7:30, now started. 4 o'clock started. Then why you did not attend if 4 o'clock started? 7:30, Okay, 4 only started. Okay, 4 only started, overlapping with this. Okay, I'm asking them, but when I start database programming, it will become a bit confusion for you to understand this. That's why I said, you guys, all the people who did not go to the SQL Server classes, in our Naresheti YouTube channel, they have posted some interaction videos about SQL Server, how to use SQL Server, how to install SQL Server, how to create a table, and all the things. Watch the basic videos. Watch those basic videos because you don't require much here. All C# code only. What we need to know is only how to create a table, how to insert a record, how to update a record, how to delete a record. That extent is enough for us. Okay. So meanwhile, you keep watching those videos. You did not go for SQL Server. Just keep watching those particular videos for a few days. You'll get the idea. But still, I am asking the management for starting off a new SQL Server batch. I think the faculty is busy and not available. Okay, but I'll make sure it starts. But meanwhile, you keep watching those videos. Well, guys, the page is open. Admin. Click on the login. When you guys click on the login button, watch it. What is it? Values are correct only now. If condition true, where it is going? Success. It is going to the success page. All of you can watch. Morning only you learned how to read this value in the page now. Request dot query string off and you can read that value. Are you clear? So we did not write any code in this. Now I go to success page. Guys, I go to success page. I'm writing the code. What? String name is equals to request dot query string of name. Request dot query string of name. And I'm writing response dot write hello name, welcome to the site. Welcome to the site. Okay, now you won't see a blank screen now. What do you see? You will see a message. Hello, the name, whatever it is. It is a static name only, but when it is dynamic, the actual name comes there. Login. Once again, you can see if condition true. Same as that. Now let us give some wrong credentials. Let's give the wrong credentials. I'm entering the wrong password, guys. Login. If condition false, comes to else part. Already we stored a value in the failure count, value in the loading, and remember what the value? 0. So here 1. Condition false. So comes to here and stores that count in the view state. And LBL message dot text is equals to, and observe what it shows. Connecting failed and maximum is 3 only. Again giving a wrong password. Login. See, guys. Else part. What is the existing value in the view state? 1. Now this becomes 2. Condition false. Okay, storing the 2 in the view state and going to show you 2 attempts failed. Again a wrong password. Login. Check. What is the value now? 2 plus 1, 3. Condition true now. Now it will go to response.redirect and the failure page, and you can see now, you can see all the values in the. Copy that, put in a notepad and verify. I typed and shown you already. This is how it is going to create you. Can I access them there? Can I access them there? One value or two values? Two values. So go to the failure page, go to the failure page and pick the two values. String name is equals to request dot query string of name. String count is equals to request dot query string of count. So count is integer now. Hey, you convert it, man. Query string returns a string only. If you want integer, convert it. Response dot write dollar hello name. You have failed all attempts to login. All three attempts to login. It will show you the appropriate message now. Understood? Once again, go to login. I'm removing the breakpoint, guys. We'll try now. Wrong credentials. One attempt failed. Two attempts failed. All three attempts to login. You notice that in this code, I used query strings as well as view state. Two techniques I used. Within the page, view state. Out of the page, query string. Are you clear? Within the page, I use the view state, and out of the page, what I used is the listings. Not the two techniques I just used in this case now. Okay. So tomorrow I'll teach you where exactly the view state values are stored. We'll try to understand about it, drawbacks of it, and all the things. Let's stop here. We'll meet tomorrow. Anand, you can give any name to the key. Key names can be user defined. You can give any name to the key. No restriction with the control name or something.
Trying to validate the required field where it is there.